Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be exploring some pretty fascinating new research in veterinary medicine,
Yes.
specifically a technique called the retromammillary block, or RMB.
Right.
It's a potential game changer for pain management in dogs,
Yes.
and maybe for humans too.
Yeah, this study is quite exciting.
Yeah.
It delves into a very precise approach to targeting a specific group of nerves
Okay.
that play a significant role in back pain.
Interesting.
The researchers used ultrasound guidance
Wow.
to inject a dye solution into canine cadavers,
Okay.
which allowed them to map these nerves with incredible accuracy.
So it's all about pinpointing the source of the pain and delivering targeted relief.
Precisely.
Right.
The study focuses on the medial branches of the dorsal ramus
Okay.
of the spinal nerves.
Okay.
These nerves run along the spine and are responsible for sensation in the facet joints
Okay.
and back muscles.
Gotcha.
When these joints are inflamed or arthritic, it's a major source of back pain in dogs.
So by targeting these specific nerves,
Yes.
the RMB aims to block the pain signals coming from those facet joints.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And the researchers wanted to see if they could consistently reach these nerves using ultrasound guidance.
Yeah.
They tested 2 different injection volumes,
Okay.
a low volume and a high volume,
Okay.
to see how each affected the spread of the dye.
And the results with the low volume injections were remarkable.
Yes.
Weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They were able to stain the targeted nerve with pinpoint accuracy every single time.
Yes. They stained 36 out of 36 medial branches.
Wow.
This level of precision is especially crucial when you're considering using something like a neurolytic agent,
Right.
which can provide long-term pain relief,
Okay.
but needs to be applied very carefully
Yeah.
to avoid affecting surrounding tissues.
That's the burning question then. How do you deliver the right amount of medication to the precise location
Right.
without causing any unintended damage?
That's where the ultrasound guidance comes in.
Right.
It allows for real-time visualization of the nerves and the needle,
Wow.
enabling the veterinarian to guide the injection with incredible precision.
The precision of this technique seems to be a significant advancement
Yes.
compared to other methods of pain management.
Uh-huh.
Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Certainly traditional methods like epidurals, while effective, often cover a broader area than necessary.
Okay.
This can lead to potential side effects and complications.
Right.
The RMB, on the other hand, allows for a much more targeted approach,
Okay.
potentially minimizing those risks.
So this technique could be a game changer, not just for the level of pain relief it provides,
Yes.
but also for its potential to improve safety and reduce complications.
Yes, that's the potential we're looking at.
Wow.
But it's important to remember that this study was conducted on canine cadavers.
Right.
While this allows for detailed anatomical study,
Okay.
further research on live animals is needed to confirm these findings and evaluate the long-term effectiveness and safety of the RMB.
Now, they also tested high-volume injections,
Yes.
which had some interesting implications for surgical procedures,
That's right.
didn't they?
With the high-volume injections. The researchers found that they could stain a wider area,
Okay.
affecting multiple nerves simultaneously.
Why is that significant?
Well, this suggests that the RMB could be used not only for targeted pain relief, but also for providing anesthesia for certain surgical procedures,
Interesting.
like a hemilaminectomy.
So instead of using general anesthesia, which can have more systemic effects, a high-volume RMB could potentially provide a more localized and targeted anesthetic effect.
Exactly. Imagine being able to anesthetize just the area of the spine where the surgery is taking place.
Yeah.
This could potentially lead to faster recovery times and fewer complications for the animal. It's a fascinating prospect, and it highlights the precision and control that the RMB could offer in a surgical setting.
And speaking of precision, the researchers were meticulous in their methodology.
Yes.
They actually used 2 canine cadavers solely for anatomical mapping before they even started the injections.
Yes. That detailed dissection was crucial to their success.
Okay.
It allowed them to create a clear roadmap of the nerves in relation to the surrounding bones and muscles, ensuring that they knew exactly where to target the injections.
It's like having a GPS for pain management.
Precisely.
Guiding them directly to the source.
And they were very deliberate in their approach.
Okay.
Aiming to hit the same nerve consistently with each injection.
And with the low-volume injections.
Yes.
They hit their mark every single time.
Absolutely.
Demonstrating remarkable precision.
It's a testament to the power of combining detailed anatomical knowledge with ultrasound guidance.
Now, you mentioned earlier that this technique could have implications for humans as well.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Well, the anatomy of the spine is surprisingly similar across mammals. So if this technique proves to be effective and safe in dogs, it's plausible that it could be translated to human medicine.
So are we talking about potentially revolutionizing the way we treat back pain in humans?
It's certainly a possibility, but it's important to be cautious.
Yeah.
While the anatomical similarities are encouraging,
Right.
there are also differences between species that need to be carefully considered.
Yeah.
And of course, rigorous clinical trials would be necessary to determine the safety and effectiveness of the RMB in humans.
It's fascinating to think about the potential impact this research could have.
Yes.
But let's bring it back to our furry friends for a moment.
Okay.
One of the things that really stood out to me in this study was the researchers' emphasis on making this technique practical for veterinarians.
Yes. They were very mindful of that from the outset.
Okay.
They specifically chose an ultrasound approach that was easy to implement in a clinical setting,
Okay.
using readily available equipment and techniques that most veterinarians are already familiar with.
So it's not just a theoretical concept.
Right.
They've already considered how to translate this research into real-world applications for veterinarians.
Exactly. They even discussed how the ultrasound images they obtained were relatively simple to interpret,
Yeah.
which is key for widespread adoption.
That's a critical point.
Yes.
Sometimes groundbreaking research gets stuck in the lab because it's too complex or expensive to implement in a practical setting.
I agree, but this study seems to bridge that gap,
Right.
offering a clear pathway for veterinarians to incorporate the RMB into their practices.
Now, beyond acute pain management,
Yes.
they also discussed the potential of the RMB for treating chronic pain conditions in dogs.
Right.
Can you tell us more about that?
Of course, they specifically mentioned the possibility of using neurolytic agents in conjunction with the RMB to provide long-term pain relief for dogs suffering from chronic conditions like arthritis.
That's an intriguing possibility.
Yeah.
Can you explain how a neurolytic agent would work in this context?
Essentially, a neurolytic agent is a substance that disrupts the transmission of nerve signals.
Okay.
When injected precisely onto a targeted nerve using the RMB,
Yeah.
it can effectively block pain signals for an extended period.
Wow.
This could be a game changer for dogs with chronic pain,
Right.
potentially reducing their reliance on long-term pain medication.
That's a significant potential benefit. Long-term pain medication
Yes.
can often come with unwanted side effects.
Exactly.
Could the RMB offer a safer, more targeted approach to managing chronic pain?
That's the hope, but again, further research is needed to evaluate the long-term effects and potential risks of using neurolytic agents in this way.
Now, we've talked about the potential benefits of the RMB.
Yes.
But like any new medical technique, there are also potential limitations and risks.
Right.
Did the researchers address any of those in their study?
While the study primarily focused on establishing the feasibility and accuracy of the RMB, they did acknowledge some potential challenges. One of the primary concerns is the variability in canine anatomy.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Even though dogs share a similar basic spinal structure, there can be variations in the size and location of nerves from one dog to another.
Okay.
This variability could make it more challenging to consistently target the nerves with the RMB in a live animal.
So what does that mean for the future of this technique? Would veterinarians need to adjust their approach
That's likely.
based on each individual dog's anatomy?
Skilled ultrasound technique and a thorough understanding of canine anatomy will be essential for the successful application of the RMB.
Gotcha.
The researchers highlighted the need for additional studies in live animals to refine the technique and determine the best approach for different breeds and sizes of dogs.
It sounds like there are still some hurdles to overcome
Yes.
before this technique becomes a standard practice in veterinary medicine.
Certainly, but the early results are promising, and the research team is clearly dedicated to exploring this technique thoroughly and responsibly.
Now I have to ask, what are the chances of this technique eventually making its way into human medicine?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
While it's still too early to say for sure, the researchers did mention that the anatomical similarities between dogs and humans make it an intriguing possibility. But as we discussed earlier, translating animal research to human applications is a complex process.
What would be the next steps in exploring this technique for human use?
Well, the first step would be to conduct further research on larger animal models, such as pigs, whose anatomy is even closer to that of humans. If those studies show promising results, then human clinical trials could be considered.
So we're talking about a potentially long road ahead.
Yes.
Before we see the RMB being used to treat back pain in people.
It's a journey that requires patience, a rigorous scientific investigation, and a commitment to safety.
Yeah.
But the potential rewards are significant if the RMB proves to be as effective and safe in humans as it appears to be in dogs. It could revolutionize the way we manage back pain.
It's incredible to think that we might be on the cusp of such a significant breakthrough in pain management.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a testament to the power of scientific curiosity and the dedication of researchers, like those who conducted the study.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to circle back to something you mentioned earlier. You talked about the potential of this technique to reduce reliance on long-term pain medication.
Right.
Can you expand on that a bit more?
Of course, one of the most promising aspects of the RMB is its potential to deliver highly targeted pain relief. This means that instead of relying on systemic medications that affect the entire body and can have undesirable side effects, we might be able to target the specific nerves responsible for pain.
So we're talking about potentially minimizing the need for opioids or other pain medications that can be addictive or have negative impacts on the liver and kidneys.
Exactly. If the RMB proves to be effective in managing chronic pain, it could be a real game changer not only for the quality of life of patients, but also for addressing the growing concerns over opioid addiction and the side effects of long-term pain medication use.
This research really underscores the interconnectedness of animal and human health.
It does.
Discoveries in veterinary medicine can often have far-reaching implications for human medicine and vice versa.
Absolutely. And this study is a perfect example of that by studying pain management techniques in dogs. We might be opening doors to new treatments that could benefit both our canine companions and ourselves.
It's inspiring to think about the possibilities. Who knows what other groundbreaking discoveries are waiting to be made if we continue to explore and push the boundaries of medical research.
It's an exciting time to be in the field of medicine, both human and veterinary. We're constantly learning and finding new ways to improve the lives of both people and animals.
This deep dive has been fascinating. Thank you for guiding us through this complex research and sharing your expertise.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
It's clear that the RMB holds immense potential, and we'll be eagerly following the progress of this research in the years to come.
As will I.
From Vet Neurojar, keep those minds-inspired hearts, light and tails wagging.